In Arizona, a county sheriff and his lawyer will head to court today to try to halt President Obama's immigration order. A lawyer for Arizona County Sheriff Joe Arpaio will try to convince a judge that the president violated the Constitution by doing an end run around Congress.
Well, the president's executive action on immigration has generated its fair share of controversy. And of course, what inevitably follows controversy? Lawsuits. More than a dozen states have filed suit against the Obama administration. So is Larry Klayman, the founder of Freedom Watch. And Larry joins us now on Midpoint. Larry, first of all, thank you so much for being on the program.
Welcome.
Great to see you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Tell us why the judge got it wrong in this case.
For two fundamental reasons. First of all, she wrote that this is a political dispute between the legislative branch of government and the executive branch of government and should be decided by the two of them. Well, the reason we have a third branch of government, the judicial branch, is to break impasses. And in this case, our emperor, Barack Hussein Obama, by his own admission, decided that he was going to bypass Congress and he was going to rewrite the immigration laws. And that's unconstitutional under Article 2 of the Constitution. So she sidestepped that. And it's interesting, this judge is a nice person. We got along well at the hearing, but that doesn't mean anything. She is an appointee of President Obama, and she worked for Senator Patrick Leahy, who was chairman until at least this January of the Senate Judiciary Committee. She's highly political, and I believe that the decision was based upon her subjective politics. Secondly, she said that Sheriff Arpaio couldn't show injury. Well, he can, and we did. Under oath. Government submitted nothing under oath. We submitted sworn statements. The reality is that these illegal immigrants, when they serve their sentences, some of them are criminals, in Sheriff Arpaio's jails, get out, they're handed over to the immigration people, the federal immigration people, and they get out. They're going to get out as a result of this amnesty. They're going to wind up back in jail again because of the crimes that they're likely to commit in the future. That raises the cost to Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. That's an injury. And there are many other examples of injury as well.
You don't sound like a man that's too deterred. And knowing your history, you're going to continue to go after the president. What's the next step?
Well, absolutely. We're confident we're going to win this. We're either going to win it at the District of Columbia Circuit Court of Appeals or we're going to win it at the Supreme Court. And we're taking two tracks right now as we speak. One, we're asking the appellate court to accelerate the case because Obama's Justice Department says this is going to go into full effect in February. Almost 5 million illegal aliens are getting amnesty, and they're getting certain benefits. They're getting work permits. From that, they can then apply for driver's licenses. Then they can go in and fraudulently ask for voter registration forms so they can vote, particularly here in Florida where we are today. This can really switch an election. It can turn an election, and I'm not favoring either side, although I'm a conservative. On behalf of Freedom Watch, I have to stay neutral on that. But the reality is that these are benefits, and the president has changed the law, and only Congress can change the law.
So beyond the policy of it, he, in your estimation, is really violating the Constitution.
Absolutely. It's a blatant violation. And that's why this is likely to wind up at the Supreme Court. You know, we had a situation like this, I don't know how much time we have now, in 1776, in the years leading up, when King George III decided he was going to take away the power of the colonies to adjudicate their own federal criminal crimes. He took it back to London. He usurped that power. We waged a revolution over that. This is similar to what King George III did back in 1776. He's taking the power away from the people's representatives on this huge issue of immigration and amnesty, and he's arrogating it to himself. That is almost as outrageous as what King George had done, which caused a revolution.
Larry, obviously you're against the president's plan, but what's the Larry Klayman plan out there? What would you specifically do to try to stop the flow of legal immigrants crossing our borders?
First thing you have to do is secure the borders, and there's nothing been said about that. Clearly, this issue needs to be studied. Clearly, not everyone who's here needs to be deported, but there needs to be a rational case-by-case approach, individual by individual, to make sure that they're here legitimately and have an ability to correct the illegality of their being here. I'm not against that, but I am against having wholesale 5 million people running around this country with amnesty, many of whom are criminals and many of whom are continuing to commit crimes. And one other thing with regard to immigration, And I said this when I ran for the Senate here in Florida, too, years ago. It was only a couple years after 9/11. We need to curtail immigration from Muslim countries who have ties to terrorism, that are on the terrorist watch list, like Iran, like Syria, like other countries, because this is a threat. And these people, some of them are in this country, and they're going to get amnesty.
Larry, we're going to hear more from you in our next segment right here on Midpoint TV. We're going to talk a little foreign policy straight ahead. Keep it right here.